Directions to these activities at the
myself today to see if I still feel. I focus.
First of all, welcome to Alcatraz. Hope you're having a good time. My name is David. I'm a volunteer on Alcatraz. I try to come out about once a week. It's such a fascinating place. I hate to miss a turn. I'm going to show you how the cell doors work. Each tier of cells contains 28 individual cells, and I can control 14 of them from one of these control boxes. And you see that there's a control box at the end of every half tier of cells. So that if you go down to the other end and you check it out, there'll be more of these control boxes down at that end to control the other half a tier. Okay? As I manipulate the levers, these three levers that you see that I'll be working with here inside the control box, what's really happening is that I'm moving a whole bunch of bars and levers and lugs and grabbers and things up here in this housing that you see running the full length of the 14 cells. And if you look at the top of all the cells, there's one of those in each tier of cells. When I'm finished, or hey, if you've heard enough already and you want to do something else, above this first cell over here on the right side of Broadway, there's a clear plastic housing rather than the standard metal housing, and you can see inside and get an idea, you don't see it moving and things, but you can get an idea of what's inside at least, and all the bars and this lug, and there's a thing like a wrench sort of to grab onto that lug when we do certain things. So suppose that, well, first let me start a different way. There were two different reasons why I'd open the doors, either to let everybody out all at once or to let some selected number of inmates out of their cells individually, okay? And I'll go through both of those sequences for you. And then when I'm finished, I understand that I'm up here and you're down there, and that's for a purpose. We have had some experiences when we do the demonstration down below of people ducking into the cells just when we close the doors, and a couple of folks have gotten caught in the door. It's one thing I want to avoid, and the worst case I know of is a woman got actually locked in the cell. It closed okay, but we couldn't get her to open it. She was in there for about 4 hours before we were able to get her out. She had a lot more of Alcatraz than she wanted that day. That happened a few years ago, but nonetheless, that's enough for me. I don't want that to happen. So I'll do the demonstration up here and explain to you what I'm doing. And then I'll come down and open the box that that gentleman is leaning in right there afterward, and you'll be able to see inside close up and take pictures if you want to. Okay? So, suppose that it's really early in the morning, and I've got a couple of workers on my half tier of cells that I need to let out individually to go down to the kitchen to start fixing breakfast, let's say. Okay? Suppose they're in cells number 2 and 5. Okay? I get to select the doors that I want to have open with this right-hand lever that I'm holding onto right now. There's a little button on the end of it, which I push to release it. And as I move it, there's a little gauge in here that tells me which cell door I'm selecting. And there's a pointer that goes up and down as I move the lever up and down that indicates the particular door. So I said 2 and 5, so I'll select door number 2. Sort of sounds like Monty, what's his name on TV, right? Door number 1, door number 2. And now I'm opening individual doors, so each door, once I've selected it, I have to enable it, getting it ready to open or close. And to do that, I pull the second lever, which is called the clutch, like that. And now it is primed and ready to open, but nothing's happened yet because I haven't pulled the right lever to make something happen. Okay? And 5 was my other door, so I'll select 5. And clutch that door also. Now those two doors are ready to respond when I pull this lever here. On the downstroke, nothing's going to happen because that's when things close. But on the upstroke, those two doors open. Okay? And you can, those folks that have an angle to see down towards those doors, you can see that the frames have a red strip inside so that I, as a guard, or maybe the guard that was up here in the gun gallery, could get an angle down there to see that those doors work, so that, for example, if an inmate that we expected to step out onto the walkway didn't step out, we could say, well, at least the door worked, so something else is wrong. He's either sick, he's died, you know, he's playing tricks on us, whatever. We got to go see what's up. Okay? So once they leave, I would close those doors because it would have been it's a real source of conflict to leave cells open and let people go in there and make the prisoners' few possessions subject to people stealing or destroying them. Okay? So I'd want to close those doors. I've already got 5 selected, so I'll just clutch it again. And I'll go back to number 2 and clutch it again. And this time on the downstroke, those doors will close. Okay? And on the upstroke, nothing happens because that's the opening stroke. Okay? Now, so there are 2 workers who are now down in the kitchen fixing breakfast, and now it's time, maybe an hour and a half later or something, to let everybody out to go down to their meal. So this time I want to open all doors, and there's a single setting for that. Okay, A for all. And because this is all mechanical, no electrical assistance, no nothing. It's all mechanical, moving the bars, everything is balanced carefully, and muscle. That's the only other thing that comes into play here. I got to jerk just a little bit more firmly to make sure that I've got all 14 doors enabled. And now, when I use the opening bar, you'll see I'm going to use both hands when I pull up because I'm opening all 14 doors at once. Okay? And then I would have probably closed the doors a couple of times when the men came back from their meal, which only lasted about 20 minutes. When they came back from their meal, I would have, when they went down to the meal, I would have closed the doors. And then when they came back, I would have opened them so they could go back in and get ready for their day if they had a job, or some of them maybe were spending their whole day in their cell, depending on their status and so on. Okay? So we'll skip all that and just say it comes a time when I want to close all the cell doors, like maybe finally when they're off to their jobs and things like that. So to do that, I'm still positioned on all. I just clutch them again. This time on the downstroke, they all close. And I just know that sound must have been one of the most horrible sounds for inmates. You hear that bang, clang, especially when the door was closing behind them rather than when it was opening in front of them. Just meaning, oh my goodness, these guys, like the guards, guys, just have so much power, and I, the inmate, how can I ever get out of this place? Of course, there were a few folks that came up with some pretty ingenious ways to try. And 5 of them made it off the island and have never been found, so we all get to just speculate whether they made it or whether they didn't make it. We get to choose for ourselves. Thanks for listening. I'm going to come down now and open up that control box right there so that you can get your pictures if you'd like. So just in a minute I'll be down, and please ask me questions if you got them about this or anything else about your